plus B WL. Today I have a tutorial on this look right here. Definitely a fall inspired tutorial, which is a little bit glamorous and wearable at the same time. Kind of did a talk through this time, which I have not done yet. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and find it helpful with the little tips and tricks I gave you guys on how to create this look and just overall in general. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let's get started. So I already kind of moisturized my lips with my Baby Lips lip balm because I always do that first. So I'm going to go ahead and prime my face with the Makeup Forever Step 1 Equalizer. And I am loving this primer. I'm so sorry about my hair. Like, I tried to curl it because I always have it straight and I just hate how it looks on camera. Like, I just like to apply this like right under my eyes and on my smile lines and slightly on my cheeks as well, just to help with like minimizing pores. It really helps with the makeup like not sitting in my smile lines and stuff, so I really like it for that. So next I'm gonna go in with the NARS Creamy Concealer in the shade Amand. As you guys know, I always use. I'm actually almost done with it, so I have to get a new one. This is kind of odd talking and doing this because I'm always listening to music, but yeah. I like to put it on my smile lines and on blemishes and under my eyes as well, as you guys just saw. I know people probably think this is a lot of concealer, but it really gives me the coverage I want. So sometimes if I just wear foundation, it won't really cover my like dark spots and stuff, and I have more of an issue with my dark spots than I do with my under eyes and stuff. Like, I don't really care if my under eyes look a little bit dark, but these dark spots gotta go. Then we're gonna simply just go ahead and blend with the finger. I feel like I blend so much easier. So yeah, how are you guys doing? How is your life and school for those of you guys started school again? So after that, we're just going to go ahead and put some foundation on. So I'm just going to go in with MAC Studio Fix and Fix Fluid in NC45. This is kind of light for me, so I'm probably going to go on with a little bit NC50 right after as well, depending on how it kind of blends. My neck is clearly much darker than the rest of my body. I hate it. Do you guys know how to like fix that or like get it to be even toned? Because I don't. After you dot your face like this, you just simply go in and blend it out. I personally like to use this brush a lot recently. I think it's supposed to be a blush brush, but it's definitely more dense, so I really like using it to blend out my foundation, and it just works really well. So I just kind of use a patting motion and then I slightly kind of move it around as I am going. As you can see, it's like definitely way too light for me. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit NC50 as well, which is usually my summer shade. So yeah. So now I just kind of dab my NC50 around. I would have showed you guys how I did it, but that bottle is almost done and I like have to take out the product using like a really thin brush, and I take it out and then I like just put it all over my face. I want to make sure I use it to the fullest, of course. Those of you who use MAC products, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can actually like take your empties. I think it's about 4 or 5 empties, and if you give it to them, you get a free lipstick or a free eyeshadow. I know it looks like I'm applying a lot, but my dabs are actually really thin. They're not like a lot of product. Here we go. I think that shade is a little bit better. Well, it kind of looks yellow though. It's okay. We're just gonna work with this today. Once I contour and put some more powder on, like my Makeup Forever one, we should be fine. So now I'm just gonna be using my Makeup Forever pressed powder in the shade. Oh, the shade is like totally scratched off, but I have another one. So once I see that, I'll just list it down below for you guys. And this kind of like makes the color look better, and I like that it gives me a matte finish, because even though the foundation isn't necessarily a dewy finish foundation, it still makes it look a little bit wet. So I like that this gives a matte finish. And again, it gives really good coverage as well. You guys might think it's a lot, but I just really like to make sure I have a full amount of coverage because I'm starting to get really insecure about my blemishes and stuff because it's getting really worse as like growing older. Like in high school and stuff, I had really clear skin. It's just after, it's probably all the stress, but yeah. If you're choosing a powder foundation, you want to go with something one shade at least lighter because once it oxidizes on your face, it does get a little bit darker. So just a tip for you. I'm just going to go in and contour with my Sephora Pressed Foundation in the shade D65. And I don't know if I'm like something is like bothering me with bothering my skin with this product because I'm breaking out in the lines that I usually contour. So maybe I just need to give the brush a good wash or this product. I don't really know. But I've been using it for a while, so sad because the lighting was literally so perfect and the sun is clearly covered up by the clouds right now. So I waited for a bit, but it doesn't look like it's coming back. It's coming back! And I'm just going to go in and contour my jaw as always. I'm so sorry if this video has really bad lighting like on and off. Can't wait for the leaves in my backyard to fall down so the lighting is like proper. I'm gonna go ahead and blend it out a little bit more because it looks a little bit harsh. I can't really even tell right now, but we're just gonna blend it just in case. We're gonna go ahead and do some highlighting. I'm going to be using my MAC Pepper Prime in the shade Bright Forecast. A tip is if you kind of slightly put it onto your nose like this, it automatically makes your nose look a little bit slimmer as well. Okay, and now we are just going to go ahead and blend that out with our fingers. Again, you want to use tapping motions and not dragging motions because we don't want to drag the skin under our eye. I love how bright it instantly makes your under eyes look. It's like so nice. I love it. Now that we've done that, let's go ahead and make our face. I'm going to use the banana powder by Ben Nye. And I'm just looking for my mirror. Where are you at? Okay, there you are. Okay. So I just like to use a sponge. As you can see, I've already used these two sides, so I just like to use a side that's clean for the next time. That way you're going to get multiple use out of the sponge instead of just using it and throwing it out. I really like to pack on the powder. Of course, you don't have to pack it on the sponge. Sometimes I even like to just go ahead and put the powder on instead of the highlight. But for the purpose of the video, I'm going to do both. Definitely for something more a little dramatic. A little bit more dramatic. Okay, there we go. I definitely put on a lot today. And under my contour as well. This really cleans up my contour if I do like a horrible job at it like I just did today. It definitely helps like clean it up. Sometimes some people like to like bring it out all the way down on their cheeks. I just don't like doing that because I feel like it's gonna make me look really ashy, because the banana powder is definitely really light. While we're gonna wait for this to sit, I like to just simply do my brows because I feel like it's a perfect amount of time to let it sit. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna go ahead and use this brown eyeshadow from NARS, and it's called Coconut Grove, and this is my like go-to eyebrow product. I really love the color of the brows. I can't say how it makes my brows look because I just have really hideous brows and I don't like how they look ever. So yeah. I'll never do my brows the same both times ever, like ever. It's so annoying. And like I've just given up on even trying to get them to do a nice shape. I feel like today, the last time I did it, the girl kind of took her time and gave me at least somewhat of a shape. As you can see, it actually goes. Usually it's like, just like, it's gross. I hate my brows. Well, as you guys probably know, I like to just simply trace out the bottom shape and then go in with more product. And I like to trace out the upper part of my brow. And then I like to use the excess that's here and then do the top. I don't like to go in with a heavy hand at the top because then they can look extremely drawn on and we don't want that. Even though sometimes my brows end up looking like that because they're just hideous. And I like to just kind of really light-handedly just kind of do like these strokey things at the front. And then we're going to go back in and then fill in the ending of the brow. So you guys can see the difference between my brows before and after. And I'm just going to quickly do the other one and come back on because that's just going to take long and I'm sure you guys don't want to see me doing both brows. Now that we've done that, you can take a brow brush or even just like a spoolie like this. I don't really have a good brow brush, so I just like to use this. And I like to kind of comb out the fronts of my brows because they always look a little bit choppy. As you can see, it's like really light and then there's like this line there. Like no matter what I do, it just comes like that. So my brows are definitely something I have to really work on. Now we are going to go ahead and take this off. You're just going to want like a big brush to help you take it off. It's just easier to do it like that, or just something that's more rounded and fluffy like. So just literally brush it off. I love how lifted it makes my cheekbones look, as you can see from like how it looked before. And there we have that, and now let's go on and add some blush. This is definitely my favorite blush to use in the fall time. It is called Raisin by MAC. Actually kind of intensifies your contour as well, which is again something I really like. I use it on all types of skin tones to just layer on top of the contour to intensify it. I definitely want to do more fall looks, so if you guys are interested in seeing any more, let me know what kind of colors you guys would like me to use and anything you'd like to see, and I can definitely do that for you. There we have that. Now time to move on to highlight. This highlighter from MAC called Freshen Up, and it was limited edition. The packaging is so pretty. It's really similar to NARS's Albatross, which I use an e.l.f. dupe of called Gotta Glow. It really gives you that kind of like golden glow, which I absolutely love. I mix up the shades and I'm going to use a really like fluffy blending brush and I'm going to apply some highlight. I like to either use my fingers or use a brush like this to apply highlight because I just feel like it works best. A fan brush definitely works as well, but I personally don't like the fan brush that I have. A little bit on the nose. Camera got cut off, but I applied some on my Cupid's bow as well. So now we can move on to the eye. I'm just going to go in with my Pro Longwear Concealer from MAC in the shade NW40, and I'm just going to put it all over my eyes to make it all one shade. I really love using this. Just like works so well. It helps with creasing and it also like really makes everything one shade, and I love that about it. As always, I'm just going to go in and do one eye and then come back with the other eye done. So you can already tell the difference between both eyes, and I absolutely love it. Now you can go in with a translucent setting powder and just like set that in place, because you definitely want to set your concealer in place or make crease. But I like to use powder, which is a skin finish from MAC. I like the fact that it has a little bit color to it, just because again it helps like really balance everything out. It's really important to have like a clean base instead of trying to blend out products when you already have pigmentation there, because sometimes it just ends up looking a little bit messy. So I'm just going to be going into the same powder brush from MAC again, and then just simply like, and now we can officially start with the eyes. For all the crease shades, we are going to be using this Morphe palette called 35N. I personally don't find them too pigmented. I'm pretty sure it would work well on someone a little bit lighter. The shadows are definitely not as good as Makeup Geek's shadows, but you could like work with it. You just kind of have to build it up, and then it's like it comes out pretty well. So first, the shade I am going to be using is a mixture of this orange shade right here and this kind of brownish orange shade right here, just for as a transition shade. And I'm just going to make sure to really blend this in all the way into the inner corner as well. I am definitely happy with that amount of pigmentation. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with something a little bit darker and go in with this brown, because I want to create kind of a gradient crease. Going in with a smaller blending brush, which is a little bit more dense, just so we can make it more precise. And again, I'm going to make sure I really get into the inner corner of my crease as well. And I'm kind of using the tip of the brush just so I can really get into the crease. I'm kind of happy with the color of that as well. We're going to go in with an even more dense blending brush, and I'm going to go in with the shade even darker right here. This is kind of like a plummy kind of brown, but on my skin it definitely just comes off brown, so we're good. And I know that ending isn't like too neat right now, but we're going to go ahead and clean it up with concealer once we're all done. And I'm just repeating the same motion again and again, just with different brushes, so it kind of targets different areas of the eye. And this color you really want to get right into the crease. I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of the orange again just to blend it all out properly. I am using the second sized blending brush. This really helps everything kind of get together. And now we're gonna go in and use Black Track from MAC Cosmetics, and we're going to just apply it all over the lid as a base for kind of that really dark smoky gold effect. Basically just like a gel eyeliner for any of you guys who don't know, but it works great as a base if you're trying to do a smoky eye or anything like that. By the way, I will have like a classic black smoky eye look coming to my channel. So I'm using a really flat brush, as you can see right here. This just really helps pack on bases like this. Since it does have a flat end, it's really easy to create like a clean look near the crease, because if it gets to a lot of places you don't want it to get to, it's going to be really hard to kind of clean it up. Pat it on to get it as black and intense as we can. So once I kind of get to that crease part, I like to just kind of drag it to make sure it's like really neat. So there we have that. We're going to actually go back in with this brown right here just to slightly blend it out. So now we're going to go in with the gold. So the color I'm going to be using for the gold is ColourPop's On the Rocks, which is such a beautiful coppery shade. As you guys can see, it's so pretty. To do that, I am just going to be using a flat shader brush, which is basically like an eyeshadow brush, but it's just really flat. I want the ends of the eyeshadow look to still look a little bit black. I don't want the gold to be like on my entire lid, so what we're going to do is just like drag the gold that's already kind of on the brush and just kind of blend it into that part. I'm not trying to go for like a precise outer V or anything because we are going for a circular look, so it's just to make sure it slightly blends in. Outer part of your eye, it doesn't have to be super neat because this is basically going to pay off kind of like glittery on your eye anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Now we can move on to kind of blending it out again. Same brown shade which we just blended the black out with, we're going to go in with the same brush again and go ahead and just blend that out. For the highlight, I'm going to stick to matte shades, and I'm just going to use this really small blending brush and go in with this white right here. So we're just going to pack it on under the eyebrow. And there we have that. I'm going to go ahead and finish this eye and I will be right back. So there we have it. I have both the eyes done right now, and what we're going to do now is just go ahead and clean up the sides. So what we're going to do is simply just make sure that there's like a sharp point by putting your finger in and just clean it up like so. Using a wipe will definitely be easier if you're doing your eyes first, because it will take off some of your foundation. So I'm just going to go ahead and touch that up a little bit and I'll be right back in like now. I want to smoke out the eyes just a little bit. Well, you can smoke it out as much as you want. I prefer not to smoke out a lot, only because I have like a lot of lines under my eyes and it really sits in it. I don't really like it. So I'm going to go ahead and line my eyes with this Sephora liner, which I absolutely love, by the way. Just to smoke it out very lightly and to intensify the black liner, we're going to go in with a black shadow. I'm going to be using this angled brush from MAC Cosmetics. This is the one I like to use on my brows as well, but yeah, this works perfectly. I'm going to take it and just like literally dab it on exactly where we put our eyeliner, and then just drag it down a little bit as well, because that just smokes it out without it being too heavy. That's as much as we're going to go today. Now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and put some top liner on. I totally do this look without doing liner, just adding on some falsies, but I definitely want to wear some eyeliner as well. As always, I'm going to be using my Kat Von D tattoo liner because it is my babe. And I'm not going to do too much of a like wing today. Well, like it'll be like a slight wing, not too dramatic though. Gonna go ahead and add on some falsies to make it super dramatic. There we have it, guys. I put on Red Cherry Lashes 415 on my eyes, and I totally messed up while doing it, so I had to make my eyeliner thicker, which I don't really mind, but okay. Now we can move on to the lips using Sid. Where are you, Sid? There you are. by MAC on my lips, but first I'm going to be aligning my lips with the shade Chestnut. I'm a little bit inspired by Kylie Jenner's lips, I can't lie. Of course I don't want my lips to be too super full, but I kind of like how like nowadays lip trend, I guess you could say, kind of trend, not really a trend, but like most girls have lips where their cupid's bow isn't too defined, it's more curved, and I've kind of started to like doing that as well. So I'm just going to show you guys how I like to do it. What I like to do is, usually I like to do an X to define my lips, right? But instead of doing that, I like to really pull my lips like this. And then instead of following the natural line, I prefer to just kind of go straight, as you can see me do right now. It just kind of goes straight. I just simply line the rest of my lip as I would normally. I'm just gonna fill in the sides a little bit. Now we've done that, so I'm gonna go in with Sin. Have it, guys. This is the final look, as you can see right here. It's definitely super glamorous in my opinion, and wearable at the same time. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video and found it a little bit helpful. If you guys have any other looks you guys are interested in seeing, please let me know and I'll be sure to do that for you guys. And yeah, that's about it. But I hope you guys kind of like this kind of actual talk through tutorial instead of me doing a voiceover, because I feel like I could explain more like this, and I know I wasn't like super chit-chatty, but maybe next video I will actually have something to talk about as soon as I get used to this whole concept. So yeah, if you like this video, please click that like button and subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!